introduction is I'm going to be introducing this 4C, the enablers or the culture that we must embrace in order to survive and thrive. So the very first part is the courage. Courage is going to be very important. And courage, if you look up in the dictionary, it basically means the strength in the face of pain, in the face of grief, in the face of difficulty. We got to be having this strength, because if you don't have the strength, then you are going to get succumbed. And you're going to actually, putting yourself into a result where you're not going to be able to survive. Never mind you thrive, that survive the growth that you want to expect. So it is very important that you got to what? Have the strength, the inner strength, the community strength. And so therefore, we got to be mindful that humans, we have faced all kinds of challenges. For centuries, for decades, we have dealt with so many challenges. But the good news is that humans, yes, there were some casualties involved, but in the end, humans were able to overcome these challenges. The Black Death, the Spanish flu, or other type of pandemics, or even a war, the natural disasters, warfares, all of these things we have overcome it. And so therefore, humans have the capacity to overcome this. And of course, how we have overcome is not just me alone doing it, but it was through the community effort. And so therefore, it is very important that we got to own courage, speak about courage, and help other people to own courage. And therefore, we got to be working together to fight this, to confront this reality, rather than not acting, acting like as if there's nothing happening. Or that, maybe this is not my responsibility, it's going to be someone else's. So therefore, you're shying away. As I mentioned to you in the previous slide, our leadership requires that we got to confront it. And how we do that is by having the strength internally, within yourself, but also helping others to be equipped with this courage that we all need. So one thing that we want to do is that, yes, we got to have this courage, but also we got to build the courage. And how we build the courage is possibly done through learning, or by speaking to one another, or we come up with some strategies. We need to come up with some ideas through which we are able to fight back. And so therefore, we got to continuously build ourselves by learning, relearning, and unlearning in whatever ways that we can to build and continuously build that capacity to express courage, or to show courage, or to exercise courage. And it is very important that we got to be very hopeful. The second C stands for curiosity. It is very important to have curiosity. And curiosity, if you look up it in the dictionary, it basically means the desire to know. So do you have this desire to know? Do you have the willingness to know what's happening around us? How does the world that we're living in look like at the moment? Or are you just completely, are you ignoring what's happening around? Because if you don't know what's happening around, you're going to be falling behind. There are some warning signs and the dangers that you're going to be paying attention to. And you're going to be thinking, asking, what are they telling that you should do now, right? The whole idea about being mindful of these warning signs and these dangers is that, so that you are wanting to put up the right response. Let's confront this. Let's try to fix it. Let's try to improve myself. Let's improve our company, our community. So we got to be paying attention to curiosity, that willingness to learn. And by understanding what's happening around, you should be able to get some hints as to what are these times, the world that we're living in the moment. What are they really telling us to do? And so you got to be alert. You got to be vigilant. And how we do that is through curiosity. So you're going to be asking yourself, do I have this willingness to learn about what's happening around us? The next C here, the third C, is candor. And if you look up the dictionary, it means the unreserved or honest expressions. In other words, this challenge that we are in. It is very important that we confront this, but at the same time, the more you get to know about the world that we're living in, the more ideas that you get about what are these world, what is these times or the world that's telling us that we should do, you got to be very honest with yourself. Maybe there's some parts that kind of exposes you that you are neglectfful about. Of course, there are many things that you have done well, but at the same time, these challenges have exposed to you in a very honest manner what are these things that you haven't done well, or that you haven't done at all. Something that you are neglectful about doing. So it is very important that you do that very honest reality check and be very honest with yourself. Okay, with this, yeah, this part I have done well, so therefore I will continue to do well. But what are these things that I have not done well? So therefore, let me learn, let me equip myself. Let me improve myself. That's really important. And you got to be doing that well because, again, ultimately, we want to survive and thrive. And so therefore, whatever that you have not done well, and therefore it tells you that you should be doing well, yes, you got to be taking actions, right? That's what really that progress is really about, isn't it? And the last part is that if there were some parts that you knew that you were supposed to do that you were neglectful about, or the fact that you were all the while you've been ignoring this fact, then you got to be started taking actions. Now, there's no time for complacency. You got to face it. You got to start learning it. You got to take up a new habits or behaviors. You got to be really disciplining yourself. If you've been a little bit complacent about the stuff that you knew that you're supposed to do that you haven't, now is the time. Now is the time to take up these new set of behaviors, because that is going to get you from where we are to where we need to go. So that candor, that unreserved, and that honest expression have to be there. And so therefore, you can do this alone on an individual basis, but at the same time, do this on a company level or organizational level. And it is very important that everyone opens up. And we talk a lot about these days about the word vulnerability. This is what it is. We got to be expressing. You know what? Let's be honest with ourselves. And let's try to equip ourselves better so that we are able to navigate these challenges, these changes, disruptions, and uncertainties. The last C that I want to introduce you to is what we call courtesy. And if you look up in a dictionary, it basically means respect for others. The words you speak, the actions that you take, it illustrates the respect for others. Now we are living in times, very challenging times. Again, I've been speaking to a lot of people, and of course, they say, you know what, life is tough. It's very challenging. It's very stifling. It's very frustrating. It's very confusing. It's very chaotic. And these are not the type of words that you want to hear, right? It's not sort of like, it's not inspiring, isn't it, right? But these are how people feel. And so therefore, if we want to really bring cooperation, if you want to enroll people into, in what ways we can work to navigate and to survive and to thrive, it is very important that we gotta show courtesy to one another. And the way that I want to express courtesy, or the way that I want to interpret courtesy, is these are the words that inspires people, that energizes people. It can be an act of kindness that it helps to bring courage. And it is really important that this is one of the goals that our leadership should be. When we exercise leadership, we got to have this end goal in mind that, yes, we need courage, we need curiosity, we need candor, but at the same time, in order to really draw or bring people together, it's that respect, and respect in terms of inspiration, that positive energy that can enliven people, the spirit. And I think that's exactly the type of leadership that I see at this morning time. We call our time, the times of VUCA. But you know what? Again, one good news is that, yes, it was through human courage. Through the teamwork, they were able to overcome a lot of these challenges that we that humankind have faced. And we are going to overcome it. But I personally see, as we are in the midst of this pandemic, now close to about a year and a half, and some people say that, you know what, if you want to eventually overcome this, it will take about 2 to maximum 5 years, or it can be more. But whatever that is, we should not lose courage, but we should have curiosity, the candor, and through the courtesy, I hope that we'll be able to come as one team. We're able to create, a better, stronger team, through which we are able to effectively overcome these very difficult challenges that we are facing.